Good morning, everyone, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. In case you don't know me, I am Eva Medilek. What I do is I help you build successful businesses and careers without sacrificing your personal life in the process. So I am coming to you this morning from sunny Berkeley, California. And what I wanted to talk to you about specifically was something I talked about with actually two clients yesterday who are both high achieving men in business. One is an executive, and the other one is an investor. And basically, the problem that they came to me that was on their mind yesterday was time management, how they just can't get a handle on their time management. They find themselves being distracted from their head to the grindstone task by other people's needs, wants, desires, and priorities. And are and before you know it, the day is over and you don't know where the time went. Hi, Kelly. Nice to see you. So basically, I think we can all raise our hands when we can identify with how the time in the day just can run away from us and we don't know what we've spent our time on, what we've accomplished. We just know it's already evening time and it's time to transition to our personal life from our workday. And so, if you know what that feels like, just put a one, just put the number one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you know what it feels like to go through your day and wonder, what did I do? Where did all the time go? There's still so many things left on my to do list. How am I going to do them all? And it looks like all y'all got it all figured out, which is great. So if you're watching on the replay later, thank you, Tavena, if I said your name right. For those of you watching, pardon me, now or catching the replay later, this is for you if you don't feel that you have a good handle on your time management. If you don't feel that you are using your time productively and effectively, if there's still tasks left undone by the time you close down your computer or end your workday and you're starting to feel the overwhelm of things piling up on you because you can't seem to get it all done in the hours that you are allotted to give it in. All right, we got some ones showing up here on the chat. So thank you, thank you, thank you for participating today. So here's what I want to share with you about that. Number one, when you are working on a task, any distraction that pulls you away from the task, it will actually take you 20 minutes to get back into that groove and the momentum once you've been pulled away from the task, as opposed to continuing to work on it and not be distracted by the dings and pings of your email and your text messages or people knocking on the door or people calling you, whatever your situation is like. It takes 20 minutes to get that time back. So every distraction that pulls you away from the task at hand, you are losing not only the time spent on the distraction, but another 20 minutes to get back into the groove of the project or the brief or whatever it is you're working on. So I want you to keep that in mind when you are tempted to pick this up and say, oh, let me look at the text that came in. And it's usually something that makes your heart go, oh, another thing I've got to add to my to-do list. Or let me check that email that came in. Oh, this person needs this from me. What happens is you're making other people's priorities have priority over your own priorities. So I said priorities like 47 times here. Other people's priorities are becoming your priority. And in order to be a high performer, even if you're a high achiever or not, in order to perform at your best. That's what high performance means, performing your best consistently. It's pretty simple without, while maintaining, health, well being, positive relationships. It's that consistency. And high achievers and high achieving successful people are often very miserable and lonely because they are exhausted and worried and burnt out. And I want to give you some ideas and some tools so that that doesn't become you, or if it's already you, how you can reverse that. All right. So here's what I want you to do. Number one, first thing in the morning, when you turn on your computer, before you check what other people need from you, I want you to focus for the first hour on you, on what you need, on how to set up your calendar, your day. What are the top priorities of your day? The top 3 priorities. Even if you've got 10 on your to-do list, what are the top 3 that you must have done by the end of the day so that you feel like, yes, I've done it. I've accomplished it. I've got that off my plate, got it off my chest. It's moving forward, a project or a priority that I have or a task. It's moving me closer to the result or to the completion of that. So every day, I want you to do that. And those are the 3 I want you to work on before you jump into responding and reacting to what everyone else needs. You've got to create before you consume. Creation before consumption. So before checking your Facebook or your Instagram or your LinkedIn or whatever it is that you want, get in creation mode. Start it with the top 3 priorities that you have in your day. So that might mean if you're starting work at 9, that might be sitting down at your computer at 8 and taking care of you first. Okay, so think about it. Don't say I can't. I want you to think about ways that you can. I want you to fight for what's possible, not for your limits. Hear me again. Fight for what's possible. Fight for your greatness, not your limitations. So, how can you set up your day where you have at least an hour to work on the things that are important to you? Secondly, what I want you to do is, as you are working, don't spend more than 50 or 60 minutes on any particular task without taking a break. And what I mean by a break, I mean a short break, a 5-minute break to drink water, move around, walk around your office, walk around your home if you work from home, just get some movement in your body, do something, stretch, whatever it is, stand up, get the juices moving, and then sit back down and continue that next task. That is actually going to help you have the energy that you need to do everything that's on your plate throughout the day. And then the other thing I want to mention to you is your accessibility. You are training people, and I know you are, that you are available 24 hours a day, every day of the week when you're always responding. I know people I can send a text to and I get an immediate response, or an email, an immediate response. They're always in that response and reaction mode. And right, Dorothy, even just relax your eyes. You see my couch back there? That's where I sit. And I'll just close my eyes for a minute. The doggy will come in my lap and I'll just take a few deep breaths and then come back to my desk in my office. And so when you are so accessible to people, you are training them to not respect your boundaries. When you do enable boundaries that protect your priorities. Okay? So here's what I mean by that. A text, an email, whatever comes in from a colleague or a family member or a coworker that they need something from you or they need help with something. Your automatic response is to be there for that person because I know you all are lovely people. What's happening in your mind is, what are they going to think if I don't respond right away? What are they going to think about me? Are they going to think that I'm too busy for them, that they don't matter? Or is there an opportunity here for me that I might miss if I don't respond right away? And I know that's what you're worried about. You want to be that person that everybody can rely upon, that's in the utmost integrity, right? I get it. I've been there. I am you. But here's what happens: you lose value when you are too accessible. Let me say that again. You lose value when you are too accessible. So, other than the building burning down and people contacting you to get out, you need to set boundaries on your time where you not only check emails, but respond to emails. And if something is urgent and you are in the middle of something related to your priority and it's urgent for someone else, here's what I would say to you. Because right now you're treating their urgency as more urgent than your urgency. And that's why you can't get everything you need to get done throughout the day. So here's a couple of things that'll help you with this. Hoping you're writing this down. Number one would be, I would love to help you out. Let's say it's 10 o'clock in the morning and you look at your calendar. How's 2 o'clock? You look at where you have an opening to help someone. You don't have to drop what you're doing to help someone out. Number two, I'm not available to help you with this at this time. Who else can you go to that might help you with this problem? Or maybe John or Susie can help you with this problem. Why don't you give them, reach out to them? Offer an alternative. Those are two things you can do. And the third thing is, I'm sorry, this doesn't align with my priorities for the day. I'm sorry, I can't help you. That's a nice way of saying no. And you can say it any way you want other than just no. I'm sorry, I'm not available for that. End of story. So those are three kind of ideas that you can start implementing to protect your boundaries for your priorities so that you are not burned out and exhausted along the day. Okay, Tavina, you are so right. No wonder AI, artificial intelligence, or you feel so burnt out all the times. I'm sure it's you. That is why. That is why, my dear. We're just expending energy to so many other people. And we're not replenishing our energy throughout the day. And then by the time we get to what it's important to us, we're too exhausted to do it or do it well. Right? Dorothy, you're right. Don't be sorry for taking care of yourself. Success requires selfishness. And it's not selfishness meaning that you're not sharing a cookie. That's my kind of selfish. Like, no, it's my cookie. You're not generous with your time, energy, and effort, but you share on your timetable, if you will. You share on your priority list. And so always remember, when you are distracted and something is pulling you away from what you are currently working on or doing for yourself, your priorities, your tasks, not only are you spending time taking care of that distraction, if you were a competing interest, but it's going to take you 20 minutes to get back into the momentous groove that you were when you were working on the task that you were pulled away from. So that could mean an hour lost every day with every distraction. If you've got 4 distractions in a day, that's 4 hours lost. And now you're working late. Now you don't have time to spend with your family. You don't have the energy to spend with your family or for yourself. You can't relax. You can't sleep well. You're going to bed late. You're checking emails late. You're responding to emails late. And everything is messing up your sleep so that your brain doesn't get a chance to really rest and reset so that you're at your top game tomorrow morning, the next morning. You see how this is a ripple effect? So protect your time. Protect your values and priorities, protect your energy, because the more available you make yourself to other people on their timetable, the less value you'll have. That's it for today. Hope that helps. Tell me in the chat what helps. Tavina, I know that's what you meant. That's why you feel burnt out all the time. I know. I was there. We've all been there. And it's not that we're not nice people. We're just sometimes, dare I say, too nice, too generous, too giving. And it doesn't mean you have to pull back on being nice, generous, and giving. But you can't, you've heard this cliche, you can't pour from an empty cup. And if you're not doing your job well, or building your business, or to serving your clients or your teams or your sales teams at your highest and best self, it has a ripple effect of the productivity of everyone else around you. So how can you show up and be your best performance throughout the day and not be tired and running out of time? If you missed the beginning of this video, go back. Go back and hear it from the beginning, because I do give you some very clear steps on what you can start to do to protect your time and your energy and increase your value. Okay, let me see some of these other Hyatt, hi, thanks. Very precious tips. Glenda, I needed to hear that today. Oh, thank you, Glenda. I'm so glad I was here for you. Dorothy, I've learned to stop at 7 p.m. even if it's hard, but it helps relax your mind to sleep. Thank you for everything you do. Of course, my pleasure. Veronica, everything you said helps. I always wondered why I can never finish what I've started, right? Sometimes it takes somebody from the outside to show you what you can't see clearly yourself, right? Imagine being in the jar and trying to read the label. You can't. Well, I've been giving, protect your focus. Yes, perfectly said. Thank you. Amen. Thank you, guys. Veronica, Latifa, Memory, everyone. Here's what I want to do for you all. Is there anyone on here, or who on here has never worked with a coach before? Just put me in the chat. If you've never worked with a coach before, or if you've been curious about how coaching can help you reach your goals and protect your health and energy and relationships, like, how does this coaching thing work? Like, I don't get it. Because if you're anything like me, I used to, like 10 years ago, I would see signs for life coach, like, who needs a coach for their life? What does that mean? And it wasn't until I actually worked with a coach that I really realized the value and the benefit it brought to the quality of my life and what I could accomplish. And I can't tell you the difference it's made for me. So Veronica, Dorothy, and Latifa. All right, guys. So I'm going to be reaching out to you three. And I have an offer for you. If anybody's watching on the replay, add me in the chat, and I'll be reaching out to you privately as well. Right now, I've got to run. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you all again next week on the 19th. I have a special guest that's going to be joining me on the live next week. Her name is Susan Schloss, and she is going to talk about your energy around money and abundance and wealth. That's going to be fire. So you don't want to miss it next week, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, and whatever that is in your time zone. So thank you, guys. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.